All right, we're live. I'm gonna give it a few minutes before I start talking about this interesting setup in Kansas, and we're also going to be talking about the tropics after we talk about this. That's going to occur tomorrow. So I'm going to pull up my the Storm Prediction Center. If you're now just tuning in, we're going to be talking about this cold core setup that's about to occur in Kansas, which is actually really interesting to look at. As we could end up seeing a few tornadoes. It's 12:48 p.m. We're gonna get started at 12:50. It's the best time. We're also going to be talking about the severe weather potential for New Mexico today as well. As we have a severe weather threat for that as well. Actually, we're going to go on the Storm Prediction Center website first. Then we're going to talk about what's going on with New Mexico and Kansas. I might find a way to change the the quality a little higher so people can see it better, but it's fine. Oops. All right, let's get started. So very interesting setup that's going to occur today and tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow looks pretty favorable. I think tomorrow looks a lot better than today right now. So right now we have a little bit of severe weather we're going to be talking about right now. So first today we're going to talk about New Mexico. Then we're going to talk about Kansas. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in a pattern here because today is Sunday, and then we're going to talk about Monday, and then so on with each and every step that we go into. But anyways, we're going to be talking about let's talk about the Storm Prediction Center's SPC outlook, or what am I saying? Sorry. We're going to be talking about the severe weather threat for today and tomorrow, which today we have a slight risk over here in New Mexico. We definitely going to see some sort of severe weather event that could end up occurring, but at the same time, we don't know yet. Yesterday's New Mexico situation kind of busted, which barely anything happened, but there were some supercell structures to it, but with some hail. But other than that, there was not much that occurred yesterday, but today could end up being a little better than Saturday, so we could end up seeing maybe some supercells that are capable of producing maybe a tornado or two in that environment. So we're going to see what happens. But anyways, yeah. So here's today's setup, slight risk, like I said. The wind threat is pretty low, a 5% chance in New Mexico. We also and then it extends it to like Texas and southern Colorado and the panhandle of Oklahoma. We also have hail. It's not hatched. Basically, we have a 15% 15% hail threat, meaning hail can be the size of golf balls. 1 inch hail is possible with this. We also have a decent tornado threat. We have a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. They actually did extend that tornado threat a little bit. They made it a little bigger in New Mexico. Roswell and Tucumari, is that how you say it? Tucumari, New Mexico, are those 2 towns need to be weather aware, and just in case we do end up getting a tornado. Yes, the SPC did say a couple of tornadoes will be possible across eastern New Mexico this afternoon and evening. So I think the timing on this setup is probably going to be later, probably at like around 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, maybe later than that, but we'll see what happens. So yeah. Here's our day 2 outlook. It just got updated. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather in the Great Plains once again. Kansas, southern Nebraska, and Oklahoma, a little bit of Oklahoma and Texas. Right now, this actually looks a little bit better of an environment to chase in rather than New Mexico, and I'm going to show you why here in just a second. But we're going to talk about the main threats. Here's our wind threat, definitely extends from like Texas and Nebraska, and our hail threat definitely same thing with that. But we have a 2% tornado threat in Kansas and Nebraska, but I would not rule out a 5% chance somewhere in Kansas, northern Kansas. I'd say is where the best tornado threat's going to be. Here's the description. You can see it's talking about the we could see some strong severe thunderstorms possible. And looking at Kansas, they're all talking about what Kansas is going to look like. Overall environment supports organized discrete supercells capable of producing all hazards. So tomorrow could end up being a big day during this time. I mean, usually when we get something like this from the Storm Prediction Center, we could end up seeing photogenic. We could end up seeing insane. We could see something crazy tomorrow in Kansas. So they said all severe hazards, including tornadoes. So they did not specific. I can't say it. Anyways, they did not like say how many tornadoes are going to be possible, but they said including tornadoes. So the tornado threat is going to be there, but we could end up seeing a lot of weak photogenic tornadoes tomorrow. This is going to be a very interesting setup as we get closer and closer to the hour. Right now, they're saying the most favorable time for severe is between 21Z and 03Z from central Kansas to south central Nebraska. Right now, there's a little bit of uncertainty, but if models show a higher chance of storms, and then a slight risk is in play, which means they could upgrade the tornado threat to a 5% chance of a tornado. And I wouldn't rule that out. I think Kansas is definitely the main play for tomorrow. So I definitely wouldn't rule that out. But if you live in Kansas and maybe southern Nebraska, please be weather aware. Cold core tornadoes can cause damage. It's the same thing with normal tornadoes, but they're a little bit weaker though. They're a little bit weaker, but I would still be weather aware. We are definitely going to activate storm chase mode tomorrow. My target area is definitely going to be Hays, Kansas. I'm going to be driving on all the way on I-70 towards Hays with this cold core setup that's going to happen tomorrow. Definitely going to wake up at around 4 in the morning, then drive my way towards Kansas. Going to be waiting until I get more models coming in. So yeah, this is the first time in a long time that I'm going to chase in Kansas. This is going to be a very interesting setup. Yeah. Here's day 3, nothing happening for day 3. We're not going to talk about that. And everything else is potential too low. So tomorrow is probably going to be our only chase day in October. Or this is going to be my first time chasing in October in general, which is pretty crazy to think about because I've never chased in October before. This is going to be my first time. And if I do see a tornado in October, this is going to be my first ever fall tornado I've ever encountered. So definitely going to be interesting tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. All right, let's look at our short range models here. That's about to occur. Are you going to live stream the chase? So that's either it might happen or might not happen. Right now, I'm going to my friend Lucas's house today when he gets back from work. We're probably gonna get the windshield foam mount set up. Hopefully it works for tomorrow. If not, then I'll probably not go live. But there is a good chance that we could go live for this for the first time. So a live storm chase is possible. But if I can't go live tomorrow, I'll still get some footage either way. I mean, I'll be out there, hopefully. But yeah. So here's our short range models. As you can see, we're right now in the Central Plains. This is where our trough's at right now, producing that severe weather for today in New Mexico. And then once we go into Kansas, look at that. You can see that our low-level jet is pretty potent for this. Look at this. 65, 66 knots, 68 knots with the low-level jet with this trough. Definitely a pretty interesting environment nonetheless. Doesn't even look linear. Doesn't look like a linear mode in my opinion. Looks pretty dang interesting. I can see like tornadoes happening in this corridor here, or maybe over here. I do think these will fire at like 2 to 3 p.m. and then they're going to explode at 4 p.m. and then they're going to produce tornadoes here and there. And then it will last until this time frame. So I would not rule out a 2% for like eastern Kansas as well. Definitely something that needs to be watched for. And then that trough will slowly weaken and die out. So this is a very, very interesting setup here. All right, let's look at our supercell composite. Actually, let's look at our composite reflectivity with this HRRR. I'm also going to check the other short range models as well. So definitely going to be very interesting with these. Anyways, so here is today. It does show New Mexico, which I'm going to show you guys right now. HRRR is printing out some discrete supercells in New Mexico with some hail. Also printing out some supercells over here as well. But the greatest tornado threat, if this cell if it were to fire, it's definitely going to be right over here. The tornado threat's probably going to be over here instead of down here. I think those two will probably be hailers. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then they'll go away, and you got more cells firing up right here that could create a hail threat, maybe even an isolated tornado or two. Oklahoma getting the action as well. And then that will die off. And then looking at tomorrow, the HRRR does not really see much storms firing off, but I disagree big time. I think we're going to see like some sort of more cells firing off somewhere around here. You can see some interesting beams right here. Look at like this beam right here, and maybe this one right here. Devin looks pretty interesting. Yeah, these small cells are capable of producing tornadoes like this one right here, this one here, this one here. So this is going to be a very interesting setup nonetheless. And then I think it peaks at around this time frame. Probably around here we could get one more tornado, and then that will die off completely and then be out of our hair. So Kansas looking pretty interesting tomorrow. Hopefully Kansas doesn't bust for me. It busted like a couple times when I was there. And now, yeah, let's look at our significant tornado parameters. Now, STPs are very inaccurate sometimes, but some of them sometimes they can verify. But here's our STPs. Here's what it looks like in New Mexico. Definitely a favorable environment down there with maybe a tornado. Oh, that's contaminated. Is this one contaminated? Yeah, also contaminated. I think New Mexico. Oh boy. I looked at that sounding in New Mexico, and this is what it looks like if a supercell were to fire in that region. Man, that looks pretty. Look at that. This is going to move pretty fast too. Look at that. And that updraft looks pretty interesting as well. But then I'm going to go into Kansas here. So here's what Kansas looks like. Wow, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting setup. Wow, look at that. A little contaminated a bit, but I see it. I do see it. Oh wow, classic photograph here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be moving pretty fast too. Oh wow, this is a better sounding. Yeah, dang, that's a better sounding. I mean, the HRR has been kind of up and down with this. I mean, I don't know if hold on, I'm gonna look at 06Z. I think that's what you call it. All right, so looking at the 06Z. Oh man, it was just not as good. But now, like at 12Z, looks even better. I hope the 18Z agrees here. Hopefully, it uptrends a lot more with the setup. I don't know what time. I think it's at 2 p.m. Wow. Yeah, our STPs look pretty favorable. Somewhere up here, I think up here looks better. Up here looks a lot better, in a way. But yeah, this is what the HRR says. Let's look at the other models here. Let's look at the NAM 3K. They love to overperform stuff, but looking at New Mexico, Kansas. I mean, it does show some a decent environment somewhere in Kansas. I might have a little bit of capping issues going on there. Again, capping issues. It doesn't show, NAM 3K doesn't show much of a tornado. Well, it's not that great. But I'm gonna look at composite reflectivity. Oh wow, look at that. That is a classic cold core setup if this were to verify. Got to sell here, sell here, sell here. Man, they look pretty good. And then I'll go away. Yeah, that's what the NAM 3K looks like. Man, HRR though, I mean, it's up and down right now. But the Storm Prediction Center sees that in a way. Looks like the RRFSA model. Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it's printing out some cells here, discrete cells that are capable of producing tornadoes in Kansas. Interesting. I'm probably going to be up here, and if I see this cell, I'm chasing it, and I see a tornado, that'll be great. That will be great. I don't like the wrap model. Wow. Oh, I forgot to check the moisture. I need to check the moisture. All right, let's look at our moisture here. See how big this is going to be. Oh, wow. Oh, dang. Interesting moisture going on here. 61 degrees with the dew point. Oh, that's a better sounding too. Oh, cap is so broken there. And you got a classic look to it too when they updraft. Oh man. These are gonna be fast movers too. Oh yeah, look at that. A little curvature, actually. That could end up doing something here. Let's go down here. Looks a little iffy. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm looking at I'm looking at Kansas right now because we do have some sort of severe weather setup that's about to occur tomorrow with this. Definitely interesting. It's going to be a very interesting chase tomorrow. But I'm going to keep an eye out just in case these models were to change tonight. So that'll be the last update before I make a decision tomorrow. So yeah. Oh man, let's look at that. Oh wow, oh that's a lot better moisture when you go into a later run. Yeah, that looks a little better. Oh my god. This needs to curve a little bit better, but I mean, they're all going to be weak tornadoes anyway. I don't think it matters. What about down here? I want to check southern Kansas real quick. Oh, there's a cap in place down there. I think right up here. I like up here more. North central Kansas looks pretty favorable for tornadoes tomorrow. See, 61. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. Really, really interesting setup. Wow. What about like later on? Let's see what that looks like. 61. I mean, I think everything just dies off. Yeah, everything just dies off completely. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna leave early tomorrow. Definitely going to leave in case this fire is too early. This is definitely going to be an interesting. Where's that at? Oh my god. I really want to see the 18Z HRRR come out, but oh man, I'm just so curious if this is going to be like a very big sign of tornadic activity. Temperature. I think our temperatures are also going to, yeah, it's going to be a pretty cold. There's a reason why it's called a cold core setup, because you got temperatures in like the 60s, 68s. Usually when you get like, you need like temperatures, I think you probably need like 70 degrees or over to see a normal tornado, but this is like 60 degrees with an interesting little jet. It's going to be pretty chilly in Kansas, but the moisture is going to be there, and they're going to probably plant some sort of tornadoes tomorrow. Let's look at 850 millibar wind. Monday. Dang, that is some, yeah, there is some spin. There is some spin going on there. Right around here is where you're probably going to get your tornadoes. Oh, my Lord. Okay. That's the weirdest sounding I've ever seen. All right, we're gonna check what the future is gonna look like. Let me get out of. All right, here we go. So there's our trough, and then here comes the severe weather that's going to occur. I'm gonna see what the GFS has to say about this. I mean, they're pretty bad when it comes to like modeling, super close. Oh, even the GFS is kind of getting it a little bit, but it's not that good. It kind of reads it in a way. All right, anyways, as we go into later on into October, it's going to be quiet for the next week or two. I definitely don't see any action going on unless this were to happen, but I don't know if it's going to, but it's going to be out of our hair here. So yeah, looks like a very quiet pattern that might occur with this right now, but this is very, very uncertain. So I don't know if this is going to be if this is going to happen. I don't know if this is going to verify, but we'll see. I think this will be our first trough in a long time to see something like this occur somewhere in Kansas and Nebraska. Let's look at Zix. Let's look at the 06Zs before I see what it says. Yeah, it's been that one trough that occurred so far out just died off because of how inaccurate the models are, which is funny. Oh, I need to check the European model here. Oh yeah, it does show the same thing. Then boom, just yeah. Let's look at our precipitation type rate. Let's look at Monday here. Yeah, it does show. I mean, the European model shows some interesting cells going on in northern Kansas. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting setup for sure. Classic cold core tours are possible. Man. So I'm just drinking water. This is the European. I need this maybe. Here's our trough here. Wow, looks pretty interesting. That is a very interesting look. Oh my, classic winter storm? Way far out. Highly doubt it, but we'll see what happens. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have much to talk about. There are some flood watches and flood warnings in New Mexico, by the way, from yesterday. But I wouldn't be surprised to see more of the rain come in. Everything, we're going to be nice and dry for the next 6 to 10 days, unfortunately. Washington getting the action, and then everyone else will be wet again. If you're now just tuning in, so we just discussed about the Kansas setup. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask me any questions about tomorrow and what I'm going to do. I'll be on for the next 10 minutes talking about tomorrow. Definitely an interesting setup. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll happily answer them. But I'll be on for the next 10 minutes unless nobody asks me anything. Then I'll probably end the stream here. Ooh, I need to go. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the HRRR. Let's look at New Mexico, shall we? Before anyone asks me questions about tomorrow. Oh, HRRR is uptrending in New Mexico quite a lot. Let's look at the previous run. Still shows the same thing, honestly. I mean, we could end up seeing discrete cells occur in New Mexico. What about STPs? Where the cells are at, not very, very good. It doesn't. Oh, that's contaminated. That's very, very contaminated. Close to contaminated right there. Yeah, that goes until like 18Z, so I don't really know if this is going to occur with this particular model. Wow. Man, the HRRR wants to what does the SPC outlook look like? I'll show you here. I'll show you. So here is today. We got a slight risk over here in New Mexico, and then you got tomorrow, which is the main area. Tomorrow is it's a marginal risk for now. Tomorrow, but I would not rule out a slight risk at all. I wouldn't rule out a 5% toward threat in Kansas at all. Definitely a very, very, oops, I spat all over. Okay, anyways, it's looking pretty favorable in northern Kansas or north central Kansas. So the town I'm going to head to tomorrow is going to be Hayes. I'm definitely going to go there. Going to be careful out there. Going to slow down because, I don't want to get pulled over for going like 5 over. Unless I need to. But I'm not going to speed that much in Kansas because it's like 75. That's like the speed limit there. I would not be shocked if they expanded that 2% risk into like eastern, more to the east a little bit, and then a 5% gets issued somewhere around Kansas. Or actually, I wouldn't rule out it going south either. Was the tornado right now 2%? Oh yeah, I just pulled it up. So yeah, this is the tornado threat today. It's green. That's the lowest tornado threat you can get. But I wouldn't rule out a 5% tornado probability in like Kansas, like I said earlier. Definitely a concerning sign with that. But there's another interesting thing I want to show you guys here. Let's look up NATOcast. Even my friend Jacob is concerned about this. Jacob Bargert. He's a great friend of mine. Me and him we met back in April of last year. Not last year, but this year. When spring tornado season was going into action. So here's the NATOcast. Here's NATOcast right here. That's what it looks like. Got a 10% non-hatch tor threat. According to NATOcast, however, this is a computer model. But judging how accurate NATOcast was this year, I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't. Definitely a very interesting sign for tomorrow. This is today. NATOcast is like saying New Mexico sucks tomorrow or today. So, yeah. If you're now just tuning in, I'm only answering questions. If you want to leave them in the chat, you may. I will gladly answer them for you and tell you what might happen tomorrow. And I can also talk about today too if you want. I can go over that as well. But right now, my main interest is tomorrow in Kansas. So feel free to answer. Feel free to give me questions. If not, I'm gonna look on Twitter real quick, see if there's any updates. Alrighty. I just looked on Twitter. I'm not seeing much really occur. Get my Twitter reset. There we go. That's better. Oh, wow. Man, if supercells were to fire right around here in New Mexico, I feel like the tornado threat would go big time. Is this a dry line setup? It looks like it, yeah. Definitely looks like a dry line setup. I'll show you here. I need to go back, hold on. There's definitely some dry line setup occurring right around here. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting day. If the dry line does verify. I think it's going to verify because of a lot of the models are showing really concerning signs of, or not concerning, but interesting signs of supercell cells occurring in Kansas. So if I animate this, you can see that moisture getting pushed like to the east a little bit by this dry line here. Wow. So yeah, this is a very interesting setup here. So yeah, and like I said, my main the town I'm heading to tomorrow is Hays, Kansas. So I'm gonna be right around here. The reason why is because the North Kansas looks a little better. Down here is where it's a little bit capped and stuff like that. But up here is non-capped. So I'm going to be heading there and see what happens. I can also go back to the Storm Prediction Center's description for tomorrow too, because they actually said an all hazards are possible, which I haven't seen that term in a while. If they say all hazards, you know something's going to happen. You know something is going to happen. Let's look at our Cape. I did not check the Cape. I should have checked the Cape for tomorrow. Yeah, look at that. 2,000 Cape. That's actually pretty good. I like that. That is actually some pretty decent Cape. If you're now just tuning in, I am answering your questions in the chat. If you want to ask me, feel free to. Man, I'm going to have a long drive tomorrow. This is going to suck, but hopefully it's worth it at the end. 2,000. Oh, wow. It goes way up at 4 p.m. Oh, this is going to be, oh my Lord. I mean, it's probably going to last until like 6 p.m. and then dies off at like 8. So that's good news, I guess, for me, because I can like go home and head to work for Tuesday. How far of a drive is it? I looked it up and it's 7 hours, actually 7.5 hours of driving. It's going to be painful. My plan is to wake up at 4 in the morning and then head out at 4:30, then drive west towards Kansas. And yeah, the reason why I'm leaving at like 4 to 5 a.m. Actually, 4 a.m. is the best time. The reason why is because of rush hour traffic that will get pretty bad in the city. I mean, I live in St. Louis, so the traffic can be really bad. And that's why I'm leaving like at 4 in the morning. And then once I go into Kansas City, I might have to deal with rush hour traffic. Hopefully not. But yeah. Are you spending then? Like, am I spending like gas money and stuff on the drive? Is that what you're trying to ask me? I'm going to go over here. That's so capped over there. It's all right. I already checked the soundings. Are you getting a hotel? Oh, no, I'm not going to get a hotel. After the setup, once the setup just dies down completely tomorrow, I'm going to head back home, driving all the way back home because I have to go to work Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to get some sleep. Well, I think I'll get I'll probably get like 7 hours of sleep Tuesday or Monday night, well, Tuesday for sure. But once I get home Tuesday, I'll definitely get some sleep for work on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm going to, yeah. Oh yeah, Tuesday I have to get my car. I think I have to get my car checked out in the dealership. Actually, not Tuesday, but Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday. Wednesday I might have to do that, and then yeah, that'll be it. It's just a car. I just have to repair my car on Wednesday, but my car is working fine. I'm not too worried about this at all. This is like. It's basically like I'm driving 1,000 miles a day, just 1,000 miles. That's it. I'm not really scared that my car is going to break. So I barely drove it. I barely drive it that much. So, I mean, it may like last. I'm not too concerned about it. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to answer them in the chat. I will gladly answer for the next 5-10 minutes. If not, then I'll end the stream. So I'm just looking on Twitter right now to see if there's any like updates on the setup tomorrow. Like pull this up. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't issue a slight risk today. I'm kind of am, but at the same time, I'm not. And yeah, like Pandorsa, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. Like you said, a live stream 50-50. If it works out well, live stream is expected tomorrow. Going to be out chasing in Kansas since like April. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting day. They issued a slight risk today in New Mexico. I think they did that yesterday. I think that was there for a little bit. They issued it yesterday. That's when the tornado threat looked pretty favorable. But the only thing that I noticed a change was the 5% was expanded a bit. So if supercells were to fire in the 5%, it's going to go haywire. So the tornado threat may end up doing something here. So I do expect a couple tornadoes today. And then tomorrow, I do expect a few photogenic tornadoes because, this is going to be a cold core setup tomorrow. So yeah. The main threats for today is going to be tornadoes and hail. That's literally it. Wind threat, not that concerning. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and see a slight risk, possibly. I don't know. Let's see here. Any new, let's see. I don't think it goes out that far. Usually the HRR, they don't really go out that far. It doesn't really go out that far on, you can see it does show some convection going on here. That's the time I leave. I'm probably right here if I were to go and chase. But there's a chance I'm going to chase this. It's our morning convection. Yeah, I wish I can go to 18Z right now because I want to stay live for it, I kind of want to stay live for the 18Z HRR to come out and see we'll see what it says. But if we do see an uptrend in this is definitely going to be interesting. checking out my Twitter right now. All right, if anyone else does not have any questions for me, then I'm just gonna end the live stream. Big day tomorrow, if it happens. So tomorrow, big day, or maybe it might. I don't know. Oh, I do not want to go on Twitter right now. Anyways, appreciate everyone tuning in. I really do. I'm going to go to bed at 8 p.m. Then wake up at 4 in the morning. Well, I'm probably going to go to bed at 9 and then wake up at 4 a.m. or something. Then leave by 4:30. Then get out of Dodge. Get out and get out tomorrow and get some photogenic tours, hopefully. Good luck chasing. I appreciate it. I will try to be careful out there. Usually Kansas terrain is pretty good. Better than Oklahoma, that's for sure. Good luck chasing. Is that the furthest you've driven in a day trip? The furthest I drove, for a storm chase is 10 hours away, which is in Louisiana. That's the furthest I drove. However, that can easily change. I think it's going to be either Nebraska next year or Oklahoma. Oklahoma, no, nah. Texas might be next year. Who knows at this point? We'll see. But yeah, I don't know who's chasing tomorrow, but I think I know a few chasers that are going to be out there. Or I think most chasers from New Mexico are going to go to Kansas to see a cold core setup occur. So I'm definitely going to go there. And hopefully, if they come and see me, I'll say hi and stuff like that. But yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in. Man, there's like 5 watching. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm about to end the live stream, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me right now. Oh my, okay, it's going up a little bit, 7 watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat and I'll answer them. I'm going to be answering I'll be answering questions in the next like 3 to 5 minutes. If I don't see any, I'll end the stream later. I was going to end the live stream, but we got to boost in people. So I want them to get a chance to ask me a question. So I'm probably not going to go anywhere until I don't see any, until I'm like, I need to end the stream. So yeah, if I don't see any questions for the 5 more minutes, I'll get out of here or I'll stop the stream. Oh. Oh. Yeah, he's like, damn. Definitely going to, yeah, I'm definitely going to get my GoPro out and record it with that and see what footage I get from it. Hopefully some good quality footage. Better than my phone. Yeah, the reason why I bought a GoPro is because because I'm going to plan on doing live streams with my phone. So a lot of people will tune in and see my chase. But yeah, if I do end up going live and I can't if I can't upload anything on Twitter, bring out an update, make sure if you want to post something on Twitter about me catching a tornado, make sure you give me credit and tag the National Weather Service because that'll help them out a lot. So yeah, I'll be out. But if I am not going to go live, I'll do that myself, definitely. But yeah, once if I do end up going live and I finish going live, I'll probably post my tornado pics and everything to Twitter and show them what I got. But yeah, I mean, there is a 75%. I'm gonna be honest. The chances of me seeing a tornado tomorrow is gonna be high. I think a 75% chance is definitely there. I think it's possible that I could end up seeing a tornado tomorrow. So yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I do have Venmo. So if you want to leave a donation, I don't care if you donate. It's something I put out just in case people want to give me support and stuff like that. I'm not like a money hungry person. So if you want to donate, feel free to. Yeah, my friends' socials are in the description too. We got Caden's, mine, and that's pretty much it. I also do have Instagram, by the way, if anyone else is wondering. It's the same thing as my Twitter user is. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, feel free to. I'll definitely be posting some content on there. I'm so ready for the 18Z to come out with the HRR. Actually, is there any other updates? No, I don't. Everything looks maxed out. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here. For real this time, for real. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate everyone's support, and yeah, I'll see you all